So I have an idea. The idea that I have is to teach myself how to stay within the flow of life. Okay. That's the idea because I've come to realize that, there's a part of me that is within the flow. At the same time, there's a part of me that has its own way. Do you understand? And I'm like, okay, now that I've noticed that there's two part of me, I'm just going to teach myself how to stay in the flow when the other part of me is out of flow. Okay, so you can be the audience. You can watch me while I teach myself. So the idea that I have, the first idea that actually came to mind is, okay, how about you teach yourself to be in the flow? How about to teach yourself to be in tune, to be synchronized, to be in the moment? And I was thinking, okay, if I have to teach myself, what is it that I do that takes me out of the flow? So one thing I've come to recognize while I was reflecting on my own characters, right? And I saw that when I get triggered, I tend to give in to the triggers, okay? And that's where I self sabotage myself. So I'm like, wait a moment, it's clear as the sunlight. I can actually, coach myself out of the outflow to inflow. So, for example, if I get triggered by something, I'm actually understanding within the inflow Kuhn ways, methods of doing things is to stay open, is to stay receptive, is to acknowledge things, the changes, the edges and everything that is actually taking place within the moment, and is to acknowledge them, is to accept them, is to embrace them, is to be with the moment, is to breathe through with it. Whereas on the other side, when we get triggered, we tend to want to have control and push and resist, and we want to have some kind of control. We feel unsafe, unsecured, and we say, okay, we don't have to change that. That's what we are learning. We don't have to change that whole need of having control. We don't have to bash it. We don't have to call names. We don't have to make it look like it's a bad thing, because the reality is it is not a bad or good thing. It's just where it is according to the laws and principles that are active within us at the time. So this is what I'm getting. Instead of wanting to resist what is happening when I'm triggered, I have to become aware. Okay, you had it right. Aware of my triggers, aware of how I feel the need to have control. I feel the need to resist. I feel the need to manipulate the energy so that it works in a way that benefits my own biasness and preferences of how things are supposed to be, right? So becoming aware and staying more present of these urges and these reflexes and this need to have control, it actually tames, and guess what, it alchemizes the energies. It brings back that sense of tranquility, synchronicity, oneness, unity, and harmony. So that's what I've actually figured it out. So now I have to apply this moment by moment. Every time I get triggered, become aware. Or now, Tans, you are actually triggered by the situation. You are triggered by this, and it triggers you to respond, because you will see what the difference when you are triggered is that when you're triggered, your narrative story is starting to change, and it puts you in a position of being defensive. You want to defend yourself in whatever story that is created by your mind. Do you understand? Because your story creates something, and it puts you in a place where you're being accused, okay, by any thoughts. And naturally we want to defend ourselves, because clearly we don't feel like we've done that. We feel like, oh goodness, we have to protect ourselves, okay? So that's what we are getting. When you trigger, we tend to do that. And that's the big point. You'll notice about being triggered, and the person, when they're being triggered, all they want to do is to defend. They dismiss, they deny, they just try by all means to protect their own ego, their own, they it's all about covering their outlook, their face, and whatever, okay? So I've noticed that about myself as a human being. I've acknowledged that it's true. That's the reality. So I'm not here to try to make anything, good or bad, but I'm all about awareness, which bring the sense of oneness and awareness of what is as it is, acknowledging things as they are, accepting life as it is, being in a flow. It brings us back into the state of oneness and being within the moment, synchronized with life, because we have the awareness, oh yeah, that is my triggered part. And it tends to feel that way, and it tends to want to handle things in this way. So I'm very much aware of it. I'm acknowledging it. I'm with it. I'm breathing it. And this practice actually, calms you down, and it just puts you in that position where you are here now within this moment. So that's one thing I'm actually teaching myself. I hope you learned something while I was teaching myself. It's a great idea for me. It works well for my own mindset and how I'm wired as a person. So I'm more inclined to being clear of what is happening, and my clarity comes by having a sense of unity and connection is very important. Sense of synchronized, integrated, one and hold with life force as it is. For me, that is like a big go place to go, or whatever to call it. But it's something that actually it kind of like binds everything together with one, you can one drop or whatever, like it kind of like put everything together, alchemize and transmute energies into this solidified energy of oneness and flow. Okay, so let me leave it. I'll talk another let me leave it here before I lose it. Thank you.